Hi everyone, happy winter solstice. My name is Janae, aka the Rave Mage. Today I'm going to be covering a couple different perspectives that I've been looking at of this date, this beautiful 12/21/2020 date, the culmination of all the energies that have been leading up to this date. So many people have been waiting for this day on all different parts of the world for all different types of reasons. This was actually, to be said, this used to be the day that the Mayans predicted, the 2012, the end of the world, but it's actually today, tomorrow, the end of the old world leading into the new world. All right, people have called it, people are calling it this multidimensional Stargate, the Rainbow Bridge. There is the Aboriginal prophecy that's being fulfilled on this day, which talks about the Pleiadian magic box. It also marks the day of the dawn of the golden age of Aquarius. It also marks the first day of the Satyuga of the central light, and we're going to be going a little bit into that. I'm also going to be linking a couple of things below since we won't have too much time to go into detail about these things. Alright, so amongst everything that I just spoke about, there is actually 4 major completions happening on this day. Cycles. Planetary cycles, some of 40 years, some of 600. There's just so many completions. Completions always start new beginnings, so this is such a huge time for new beginnings. Also, this conjunction that they're talking about, it happens every 20 years, fine. But the one that we're experiencing, this is the closest that has been in 400 years, since 1623. So many astrologers say that this conjunction, the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, is actually the Star of Bethlehem. And it was the one that was seen by the shepherds in the inception of the Piscean age, which is known as the Christmas star. And not only that, but so I'm sure that some people are expecting like this huge event to like happen, like something, yeah, it's going to be happening as above, but it takes a while. Well, not a while. It just depends, really. You just can't expect, just in the same way that people expected like the world to end, to actually physically end 2012. It would be silly for us to expect this whole turn of events. I mean, eclipses energies last 6 months, just for by example. Just the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, it takes 3 days to actually do this whole alignment, and then there's going to be a further alignment of the different suns of the planets, which is going to be, you can look into the Norbs theory a little bit more about that. So there's just going to be so many things that are going on, and I'm actually going to link another video about the conjunction so that you can learn a little bit about that as well, because we won't have time to go through that here. A lot of people are covering this information, so it'll be easy to find. This video is actually pretty nice. It's short, to the point, and it'll explain everything that you need to know. All right, so moving on to the shift, the 3D to 5D shift. Everybody's talking about this shift. Everybody's been talking about this shift. You can't make this shift up. And it's true, you really can't make this shift up. And it's interesting because similar shift has caused major planetary shifts in consciousness, such as the rise of Lemuria and Atlantis. So we're experiencing like very similar events right now, really born into like this new age, right? So the cosmic gates will be fully opening, allowing a massive surge of high frequency gamma waves emitting from the great central sun. That's what they've been calling it. And the light has not been present in this earth since the age of Atlantis. So to me, that's kind of like what I've heard about the Christ matrix coming on back onto Gaia. That's what happened in 2012. And from 2012 to 2020, it's been the culmination of that energy leading up to this new age now. So these energies are designed to activate dormant strands in our DNA. And the more strands of DNA that we have, the higher level of consciousness we have as an individual. So you can expect major upgrades throughout the next months. You know what I mean? Like a culminate, like this is going to be coming on slowly or not. Like it really depends on your placements, like what type of lineages. Like you can look into your star families. Like it really truly depends. It's a very individual journey, but we're all collectively experiencing this. So you could get an increase of things like telepathic abilities, you know, just seeing things, hearing things, knowing things. You know, it's also creating a space for the sacred space for the I am presence, you know, for every son and daughter evolving on this earth to elevate our holy breath. I mean, that is just beautiful. I read that and I just had to write it down. This will actually allow us to receive the higher frequencies of prana and life force in every breath that we take. This is what it means to go from that 3D to 5D. I mean, these are the energies that we're talking about. And honestly, I mean, really, these are not things that you could actually see with the naked eye. These are things that you're going to be experiencing rather than being like, oh, wow, look, I physically see this thing happening. So also, don't be surprised if you experience heightened emotions. You know, pay attention to that. You know, as plenty of cycles come to an end, so do the ones in our lives. You know, this can include anything from dysfunctional relationships, codependency, moving out of resonance with family, friends, lover, or sometimes even like your 3D job, like being pulled to do something more spiritual. You know, some souls will no longer walk with you. You know, as you're raising in frequencies and vibration, the more you go more and more into your higher self. And, you know, there's nothing necessarily wrong with, we're just evolving. And for us to resist is not what the energies are asking us to do right now. It would be very harmful, if anything. So just don't attach to anyone. Let them go. Allow the freedom to find, for them to choose their own options, for them to choose their own path. You know, that's that free will thing. I mean, we all have that destiny. You know, I love free will versus destiny. I think I talk about it all the time. You know, God's will versus your will, and God being source or the light or love. You know, that will, that frequency. So as we activate more and more strands of the light strands of our DNA, we must let the things go that don't resonate. We're upgrading our vehicle, our Merkaba. I like to do this meditation where you visualize the Merkaba in your body, and then you connect from the third eye to the heart chakra, and you vision that, and that gets that's the beginning stages of getting that vehicle running, like being comfortable in that vehicle. We're actually upgrading that vehicle. And I had a download the other day, and I posted it on my TikTok about this vehicle, about this transmission, like relating it to how it's almost like a radio, like transmissions receiving, all of these things. And it's so interesting how it all makes sense. And now that we're ascending, right, or we're upgrading, or we're experiencing this new 5D, these are the types of things that we're going to be seeing. So as above, so below, as within, so without, have no fear. Godspeed. This is our time. We have been preparing for this moment our entire lives, our entire lifetimes. I mean, ascending to 5D is what people call ascending into Christ consciousness. Would be calling it the same thing, right? Because it's reading, you know, why do we say Jesus Christ? Jesus is the Christ. Like every religion kind of like has a word play on that, right? But it's really because Jesus was a person on this earth that reached Christ consciousness. That's what we're trying to get to, Christ consciousness, 5D, right? And that's what we're actually doing now. So I wish you guys all the best of luck in this time. Make sure to love the people that are around you, the people that are giving you that energy. Make sure that you are giving yourself the energy that you deserve, the love that you deserve, because that is what's being asked of you right now. I believe in you guys. This moment was created for us. If you like the content that I put out today, I'm going to link my social media on the bottom. You should see something up here. I am the Rave Mage 444. I have a TikTok. I have a YouTube. Follow me. I make content like this, and I plan on doing frequencies and numerology talking about this same type of thing moving on, especially moving into 2021, because this is really the beginning for all of us, including myself. Welcome to the new world. Rave Mage out. All right, fam, welcome back. We are back with our card reading portion of this Winter Solstices episode. The first part was just me. That is part of a podcast that I'm actually a part of. I will link that once I have the information, and this is just for my channel here. So I'm gonna start. I just feel so connected to the stars right now. I'm gonna do the Sirius Starseed Tarot, and because of the Great Central Sun and the connection to the Lemuria and Atlantis, I'm going to use the Angel Heart Sigil, which is the angels from Atlantis, and we're gonna end up with the Blue Messiah. It's a card from there. This is such a divine time, so I just want to make sure that I'm giving that Blue Messiah deck an opportunity to shine. These cards here in the Sirius Starseed are huge. Already shuffled a little bit before we got on, but I wanted to give it one last shaky shake before we pull some stuff out. I'm going to pull out 3 from here. And basically, this is going to be from the 21st to the 31st, right? Just until the end of the year, to the beginning of 2021, because there is a couple more transits that are going to be going on, a couple more celestial events, a couple more frequency updates that are going to be going on before the year ends. So we're gonna, woo, Ace of Crystals. I love that. I love how we're starting off right now. Yes, new beginnings. I am going to read this Sirian Starseed deck. It's very important for me to read the actual definitions here because they are particular. The Seeker of Crystals. Wow, guys. Wow. 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 And the Adept of Crystal. Wow. If there's anybody watching this that has any inclinations or calling towards crystals, this is your sign to dig in. This is your calling. And it's so important for us to really talk about crystals in a way that I see that not a lot of people do. Earth is one of the biggest libraries, galactical libraries of the entire local and super universe. This is why Gaia, Earth, is so important. I'm just going to take these aside for a second so we can talk. The thing is during those ages of Lemuria and Atlantis, those civilizations fell. And all these were technically advanced civilizations. I mean, these were they had the alien races come down and help them. They were still allowed to be here, some aliens. So this was part of the building of the pyramids, etc., etc. All this information, all this technology. I mean, we're just now starting to find out the real technological benefits, the healing powers, etc., that the pyramids have. And not only that, but different sacred sites. And not only that, but every single time there's an update in frequency, especially with now the prophecy that's about to end, the one that's going on in Australia, it's going to be another upgrade of all these sacred sites. So new things are coming to light. New things are being able to be. Remember, we talk about the radio. Our frequency is higher, so we're able to receive higher transmissions of information, right? Now, back to the crystals. When the civilizations fell, one of the ways that they were able to keep the information recorded was inside of these crystals. All different types of crystals. That's why you see, like, for instance, I believe the Moldavite is one crystal that's directly related to the Atlantis. There's different crystals associated with different angels, different fairies, different realms overall. Associations of healing powers. All of these things can be learned and should be learned all from the crystal. And crystal is a tool. You learn the information. It's not like you need the actual crystal to be able to get this power. You could actually look at a crystal, a picture of a crystal, like literally just look it up on the internet, say an incantation or however you want to call it. I really don't like using that word, but just so we could have a fluid vocabulary, just so everybody could resonate with this, right? You say some type of mantra or affirmation to say, okay, this is the crystal. These are the intentions that I'm placing. This is what I want to learn from. Let the frequencies come to me. And there's many different prayers and mantras that people actually make up so that you set the intentions directly to what you want to do with that crystal. Now, going back, this is starting somewhere. Being the seeker and then becoming something with your craft, learning. Imagine being able to tap into, and now that we're ascending, now that our vibration is higher, now that we're able to be more receptive to this higher frequency of information, perhaps we've even had these crystals laying around in our house. Maybe we've touched them. Maybe we've thought about them, but we've never. Maybe now is exactly the time to start, because now is when we're able to reach that frequency where we can communicate with the crystal, or rather the crystal could communicate with us in a way that we could understand, right? This is what I see. This is a transgression, right? And since we're talking about from to the end of the year, I believe that this is just starting. This is just setting the foundation, right, to what this 2021 is going to be. It's not necessarily crystals per se. What is it that calls to you? Is it something esoteric? Is it astrology? Is it tarot? Whatever it is, right? There's something to be said about the starting of something. And this is crystals as well, meaning the pentacle suit. So we could also relate this to the 3D world. Let's come back down. The start of a new job, the start of a new endeavor, the start of a new business, the start of a new creative project, the start of a new anything related to your pentacles. You go and you're the seeker. You're looking at this ball and you can see, right? She's in this cave. She's looking at that crystal and she could clearly see it's like like there's like gold in there. There's like, she's looking at it like, She literally look at it like, yeah, I want that. Ooh, I like that. Ooh. And she's like, she's in this cave, so like she don't really know how she's gonna get there or whatever, but she knows that she has it in her hand. And then here, you can see that he's upgraded, right? Upgraded. All crystals are beautiful in their own way, but here we have, check this out, from darkness to light, right? From 2020 to 2021. But really, now he's standing in his kingdom. Now he's standing in his power. Now he's not in that darkness anymore. Now he's not just looking at something and be like, Now he's looking like, this is mine. I worked for this. Look at what I've done. Just look. Wow. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the interpretation for the Ace of Crystals. Then we're going to see what the Sarian Starseed Tarot defines as a seeker and an adept, right? And we're going to keep in mind that crystals, meaning the literal terminology, and let's look at it also in the pentacle sense. Let's look at this in a multidimensional view, 3D and 5D, all right? God, I love the definitions of this book. Nestled in a rocky cliff. Let me give this to you so you can see it. Woo! Nestled in a rocky cliff, a magnificent quartz generator crystal stands tall on the horizon. And just in case you guys didn't know, like, crystal quartz are in your watch. They're that little thing in your phone that works with like the signals. Like, this is a real machinery. Like, people have been arrested, have been incarcerated for doing making scientific discoveries with the power of crystal quartz. All right. It stands tall on the horizon, beaming its stored light as a reflection from one of its faces. What an incredible find. Here is a flower of the earth, but not hidden deep in the soils, and mines below it's visibly brilliant, there for all the taking. Ah! So are the gifts of the earth abundant and available. Wow. The first of the suit of crystals is the promise of new opportunities in career, financial matters, and other aspects that speak of security and stability to the conqueror, which is you. It is a straightforward something new in the works that promises to yield material gain for the seeker. You hear me, y'all? To Starseed, the crystal is a tool for, for self-exploration. Thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. To heal self and others and to generate energies for the personal environment. It is a gift of untold measure, recognized for what it can bring energetically to those who are ready to work with it. Literally what I just said. Boom! Are you aware of the power of the crystal? And if so, are you able to work with them energetically? Are you open to the possibility of using this tool for enhancing your own ability to manifest? What new material concerns are opening up to you? Home, career, wealth management. Are you taking care of your physical body? A new opportunity opens for the abundance in your life. Be aware. All right, so next we go into the seeker and the adept, right? And so this is the definition or the equal to like the knight, the king, the queen, and this is just the interpretation of the Syrian Starseed Tarot. So they describe, it's like saying I'm describing the knight right now, and I'm describing, basically the seeker would be the page, the adept would be the knight. So we're progressing. We discovered, now we're moving forward in the beginning phases all the way up in the suits. Like we literally jumped from the A's. We're like, yep, because that's what we did in 2020. I'm throwing cards right now because I'm excited. And then we're starting from the seeker all the way to the adept. And then we turn into the sage and then the master. That's what I feel 2021 is about. Mastering ourselves, our emotions, really anchoring into what this. All right, that's enough. Who is the seeker? As one awakens to the wonder of spirit, recognizing that there is a greater purpose to life than what could be gleaned from the sensate physical world, a transformation begins. The seeker reaches out, searching for more. There is a youthful, very feminine quality, and remember, feminine being whether you're a male or a female, everybody has feminine and masculine in them. Which is not necessarily about age or gender, it says it. But more about the joy of discovering the beauty of the spiritual awakening. That's exactly right. The seeker needs guidance. She is very unprepared and is still learning about the suit. While there is spiritual immaturity in this essence, it carries a sense of childlike wonder and an innocence that is very disarming. So this is, to me, is like the fool that knows what he's about to do, basically. You know, like he's inexperienced in the sense where he needs help, like networking. It's what we've been talking about this. Like, we have been talking about what Spirit is calling us to do. Expand, right? Expand our network, drop certain things, and making room so that other things can come in. We need help. You know, we need help. We can't do it alone. I mean, we can, but wouldn't it be so much better? Wouldn't it be so much more brilliant, so much more astronomical? It's like one star, right? Like one star gleams, one star is beautiful, one star glimmers. But if you zoom out and you realize it's a whole constellation and you're like, oh my God, it's the Pleiades, it's the Seven Sisters. All of a sudden, it's not saying that each individual star or each individual sister isn't like something of her own. However, how much better is it when we realized that one was actually a part of seven? And that seven was actually a part of, you know, it's incredible. Think about it like that, right? So then we step into the Adept. The Adept is well along the path of self-discovery, having learned much about the sphere of influence, but still lacking maturity. He can be mesmerized by his own wisdom, a sign of unresolved ego. And he can be reflective about the deeper meaning of this field of experience. Pure energy in his suit, the Adept moves along the path of earthly experience, seeking mastery. He is passionate, at times impulsive, filled with vitality and determination to advance in the sphere of influence. So to me, that just means go forth, just with caution, like really mind your ego. You know, like really like, and that doesn't mean get rid of it. That doesn't mean, that means observing, right? We're the observer, right? As soon as we get to see what it is our ego is doing, where's that coming from? Can I transmute it? Right? And from there, we are going to get some guidance from the angels. Angels of Atlantis, what do you have for us? Let's see what angel is going to be accompanying us during this time. All right, sounds good. Metatron! It's funny because I was just thinking about him today because in another video, I'm gonna have to look this up. There is a vibrational equivalence to Metatron. Give me a second. Unfortunately, I can't find my notes, but Metatron, he has an energetic equivalence. I don't know if it was to Jesus or Muhammad. There was like 3 things that he was energetically equivalent to. I should have written it down. But anyway, he's here to talk to us about jubilance today. He wants you to gaze at the heavens, whether it be at the sacred geometry of the Gothic chapel ceiling in the icon, or to examine the infinite and exquisite balance of the firmament. The ceiling is a reflection of the star-filled ocean around us called the cosmos. The flowing dimensions are rich in alchemical force, wishing us to feel uplifted and allowing us to feel jubilance spreading through each aspect of our lives, that we may surrender to the grace given and grace held, the gatekeepers of the mystical pathway, and the awe and the joy that we feel in the states flowing through us will become full of jubilation. Contemplate on how much jubilation you have in your life. If little exists, pour into the veils of the infinite belief of your everlasting soul, and the angels will assure you, and you will be immediately reminded of all which is in your spirit. So this is the chant, whoo, through your sacral chakra, to bring divine elixir pouring from you, from the top to the toe. And to me, that's just saying to have faith and rejoice in everything that you've accomplished in this 2020, like 9 of Pentacles, like really take a step back and look at everything that you've worked hard. And if there's nothing in your life right now that there's something to say like, wow, look at what I've done or anything like that, then just hold faith that that is coming for you because of this. That is what it's asking you to do. Last up is the Blue Messiah. It's got to be one of my favorite decks, really, especially when we do things like this. It's the activations. Let's see what we got here today. The Tree of Life. It's one of my favorite cards, number 32, which is actually such an important number in this time. Try to link the description or what it is for you. The tree of life is a journey to self-realization and enlightenment. This is the cosmic ladder within every soul that each guider seeks the truth of expansive, light-filled nature. Connected to our energy center is the path of spiritual illumination. Not everyone is aware of this living cosmic ladder within, which is often separated from the individual by veils of misconception. Limiting ideas and beliefs serve only to take you further away from the tree of life within your soul. Dear one, the tree of life grows strong within you, and the fruit that you bear is good. You inspire so many souls within you. You radiate loving light. Those who eat fruit from your tree, and in other words, embrace the loving wisdom that you have to share, move closer to the light within them. The tree of life connects you to everything within the universe, to all that exists, past, present, and future. Moving through the cosmic ladder of life is key to the inner transformation. Now is the time, dear one, to take that next step into self-mastery, so we have been talking about. You are not alone in this journey. You are deeply connected through the network of energy, another keyword that we spoke about today, and all the other beings of light aligned in this deeper truth. Exercise, meditate on the tree of life within you. Reflect and write down what comes to you. So really this just wraps up everything. Not everybody's going to have the path, not everybody's going to have the way, unless you look within and you really embrace the energies that are coming to you. Trust in the divine, trust in your path, trust that you know exactly what you're supposed to do within you. Trust and grow outwards, expand your roots outwards, forwards, like network, like really, you are not alone. You're not meant to do this alone. We felt alone for so long, and it's with good reason, that we're looking for home. And I believe that in this transition, that's exactly what we're going to find. We're going to find home within ourselves, home within each other, and really start climbing up that tree of life. And there's something to be said about the networking system underneath trees, and the way that they wouldn't prosper, they wouldn't thrive in the same way that they do if they didn't feed off of each other underneath the ground, something that really can't be seen. So with that, I want to leave you guys. I hope you have a fantastic winter solstice, and let's think of this as the best new beginning that we have ever seen in our lives, because that is the potential that it has for us. Really realize, really embrace that your thoughts create your reality. We could either take this opportunity and run with it or hide from it. Let's rise above. As above, so below. As within, so without. Godspeed.